The golden sun had barely set over California when flashing red and blue lights flooded the quiet street outside Prince Harry's residence. The sound of sirens shattered the calm evening, drawing neighbors to their windows in shock and curiosity. Inside, the prince's heart pounded. He had been dreading this day ever since whispers of his alleged involvement in a drug scandal began to swirl through the media. But he hadn't expected it to happen so fast or so publicly. Uniformed officers stormed into the house with grim determination. "Prince Harry, you are under arrest in connection with an ongoing drug investigation," the lead officer announced, his voice firm and unyielding. Before Harry could utter a word in his defense, cold steel handcuffs locked around his wrists. The news spread like wildfire, and it didn't take long to reach Buckingham Palace. King Charles III, sitting solemnly in his private study, listened as an aide recounted the arrest. His face tightened, jaw clenched with an expression that balanced pain and fury. The scandal threatened not just Harry's freedom, but the very dignity of the crown itself. With a heavy but resolute voice, King Charles issued a direct command to the authorities: no special treatment. Send him to jail immediately. The monarchy must stand for accountability, even if it means my own son must face the consequences. The order sent shockwaves through the palace staff and beyond. Some whispered that the king's decision was harsh, others argued it was the only way to protect what generations had built. Meanwhile, Prince Harry, head bowed and lips pressed together, was led away by police into the back of a waiting van. As the gates closed behind him and the van rolled forward, flashes from photographers' cameras lit up the scene, capturing the moment when a prince fell and a father chose duty over blood. The world watched, divided between sympathy and condemnation, as the once beloved royal vanished from view, swallowed by the shadows of scandal and justice. The cold clang of the prison gates echoed through the corridor as Prince Harry, still wearing the remnants of his designer suit, was led deeper into the facility. The polished halls of royal palaces had been replaced by stained concrete and flickering fluorescent lights. Every step felt heavier, weighed down by regret, fear, and disbelief. Inside his small, bare cell, the reality of his situation finally settled in. The door slammed shut behind him with a finality that pierced his heart. He sat on the hard cot, running a hand through his disheveled hair, his mind racing. How did it come to this? Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, the tension at Buckingham Palace had grown unbearable. Advisors tried to speak with King Charles, hoping to soften his decision or at least discuss damage control. But the king remained stoic, staring silently out the window toward the palace gardens. "I will not undermine the rule of law," he declared firmly. "He is my son, but he must face what he's done." Meghan Markle, back in California, was inconsolable. Through tears, she tried calling Harry's lawyer, demanding updates and asking if bail was possible. The lawyer's response was hesitant. The king's direct order had made Harry's case politically charged, and no judge wanted to contradict the monarch's command. The couple's young children, too young to understand the scandal swirling around them, sensed something was wrong. Meghan did her best to shield them, but every knock at the door and every phone call made her heart race with dread. In his cell, Harry thought about them constantly, about Meghan's face when she learned the news, about the children's laughter he might not hear for months, maybe years. His thoughts spiraled between anger at himself, frustration at the system, and heartbreak over his father's decision. At night, whispers among the guards and inmates reached him. "A prince, imagine that. Guess royalty can't save him now." Harry closed his eyes, trying to shut out the noise, but the memories flooded in, childhood moments with his father, the warm smile of his late mother, and the life he had built away from the palace. All of it now shattered under the weight of scandal. Back in London, King Charles sat alone at his writing desk. The weight of his decision bore down heavily. He gazed at an old photo, a young Harry on his shoulders, laughing freely. The king's hand trembled slightly as he whispered to himself, "Forgive me, my son, but this is bigger than us both." Outside the palace walls, protests and debates raged. Some blamed the king for cruelty, others praised his commitment to justice. But for Harry, behind bars, none of it mattered as much as the gnawing pain of betrayal and the fear of what lay ahead.